Welcome to the Insiders Insight podcast, where we share with you the thoughts of the individuals who are working for projects that are changing the world. Thank you to our sponsor, Creditcoin, the building blocks of trust. For more details, please visit the show notes below.
Hello, everyone. We are very happy to present you Insiders Insight. It's an off-chain podcast. And today we have a great our friend from OffChain London, Daniel. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us today. Daniel is a deal maker, OffChain London chapter founder, VC, and philanthropist. Please tell us how you first got into crypto. What did you think about crypto when you first heard about that? And what do you do in the space right now?
All right. Hi, Paulina and Sean. It's to be here. Thanks for having me. Basically, it's a long story short. I started crypto January 2018, right at the top. So, entered $1,000, $1,050 Ethereum, at the top, and then be going down, invested up to 50,000, at least 50,000 pounds invested into ICO craze, failed projects, scams, and so on. I invested 100 ETH into Yggdrasil alone, and that was actually 95% of my money at the time. So it was quite a big hit. I was a big believer in that project. That was March 2018. I was a big believer, even working for the project, supporting for years. Basically, it's a failed project. It didn't deliver, unfortunately. So, in crypto is always never invest all your money into one project. It's never a good idea. It's never a good idea usually. Always diversify your portfolio. It's always a good idea. But anyway, basically what happened is, I still have my coins, by the way. What happened is that, that I lost a lot of money through various projects, failed projects, scams, and so on. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate between a scam or a failed project, but the result is the same anyway. Zero. 95% of the project will fail, but then when you are persistent, you will be successful at the end of the day. So then March 2020, I invested little money, because by that time I had only little money because I lost most of my money. I invested $1,000 into Phantom, and then I shield Phantom. That was the all-time low of Phantom. So I invested at the all-time low, at the very low, 39 cents. The all-time low was 38. So it was really all-time low. And I invested $1,000, but then when that went to 1,200x, within 2 years. No, it was not 2 years, less than 2 years, November 2021. By November 2021, that made 1,200x. So I made back the money. That's a different question. Now we have a bear market, so it went down again. 94% down at the moment. So that's a different that's a different story. But anyway, and after that, I had even an internal fight within Phantom and so on. So basically, at that point, I was I got barred from Phantom, although I was supporting that. I'm still supporting actually, for the whole time. I'm supporting Phantom, and so they have a best technology. Phantom get really an amazing technology, but the marketing is not amazing. It's really bad, and the narrative, and that's why I got barred, because I spoken about my opinion with the leadership openly, because I'm always very open, very transparent, and that's sometimes not the best thing to do. But anyway, I got barred, and then Jonathan approached me. Jonathan, the founder of OffChain, he approached me at the right time, and he managed to convince me that I should actually start OffChain London, because he knew me that I was supporting Phantom a lot, and I was doing with the UI, user interface, and these kind of things, help them to make it easier. And I have a community influence, and I'm a community builder, and so on. So basically, long story short, I started OffChain London in around November 2021, a year ago. But in crypto, 1 year is a century.
Yeah. That's so wonderful. Not every day we can speak to a London off-chain founder. Could you tell us your insights on the London crypto scene and what are the challenges of networking in the crypto world in general?
Yeah, the main challenge. So basically, in London, you can go to an event like every day. There are loads of events like every day. So that's great. But obviously, good events is not so many. So there's lots of events, but I wouldn't go to everywhere because it's first I don't have time to go every event, and also is not so many like good event, I would say. I mean, obviously, off-chain London, once we have an event, that's always very good and great, obviously. And but sometimes you do like unofficial events, which is not even an event, but just like I make like a private, a private meeting with handpicked people. So that's the great thing if you are there, but you might not be there because that's really like handpicked. So I just organized to meet the right people. And usually these events, these is not even an event. This is an unofficial thing. Usually these special meetings is the best because those people end up working together. They will be their business, each other business partner and so on. So because, I know people, I know many people. So I know each of their profiles. So I know what they are looking for. But this is not even an event anyway. But basically the biggest challenge is the trust, always the trust. So it's good to have like a connector, if you know a connector. It's not only me. There are other like a super connectors in London. So London is great because all the people is here, many people and many big VCs are here, big money, and not only money, but lots of like a genius, like a great connectors as well. And especially this is, we have a great synergy if we work together, with other great connectors, like sometimes work together with Bobby or Judge. He's a great guy. And also Crypto Mondays. Crypto Mondays is good as well. I am always want to collaborate with great networks and other our competitors. I wouldn't say competition because they're doing the same thing like us, but it's good to work together. Through my initiative, we will have a joint event on the 9th of November with the Crypto Mondays and Definity, and even Dominic from Definity, he will be there. We sold out within 2 days for this event. So now I'm still inviting people for that, but only through me or, like I can get them in because I want to make sure the event will be absolutely packed. We will be absolutely full. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think with all the capital networking in London must be really great. What do you think is the most exciting use for the blockchain technology at the moment?
But sorry, just to get back to your previous question. So the biggest challenge really is the trust issue because it's all about trust, and we talk about real life meetings. So it's not like I avoid Zoom and so on. So if we are in the same city, we should meet because nothing can substitute a real life meeting. So yeah, I love podcasts, but if I would be at the same place where Sean and you are, obviously I would prefer face to face. Obviously, to face see you guys.
Yes, what do you think is the most exciting use case for blockchain technology at the moment? Because there are so many different projects, and all of them are doing very different things in the space, starting from NFTs and finishing with a new trading, swap, super yield farming, technology.
Mm.
So, what do you personally find the most exciting?
Well, it's all of them can be exciting, and all of them can change the world. Even there are like restaurants apps, and you can use your crypto to eat in a restaurant or yield farming and DeFi and NFTs and so on and so on. And so there's so many utilities. For me, the biggest thing, if if it is very user friendly, again UI, if it's so easy to use, the wallet, the whole interface and everything. So if it's easy to use, it will reach the masses. It's going to change the world. If it's not easy to use, it will not. So it's all about the ease of use, the convenience. But it's really easy to use. At the moment, I have to say, I'm an OG really in crypto, but I'm not a nerd. I'm not like a I'm really not great in. I'm still not great in wallet, or I can still struggle to use the blockchain or the wallets and so on and so on, like MetaMask. MetaMask still can be clumsy. So there's still so much barrier, it's so many challenges in front of the mass adoption for the ordinary people. And this is the biggest thing, really. It must be, very easy to use. If it's not, then it's not going to, we're not going to reach mass adoption.
Yeah, true. I agree with this point because it's the same with the internet, right? You don't need to understand the technology behind internet, but you can use it with no problem. But with when it comes to crypto, you really need to dive deep into what is a wallet, how to use the wallet, what wallet is suitable for what blockchain, and how do I swap one currency to other currency. It's all very confusing for new users. I agree with you. We all
and you have to be, and also sorry, and also when you send money, like deposit or withdraw money from an exchange to your wallet, you have to be very careful. If you click to the wrong place, your money is gone forever. So you have to be very, very careful in every step.
I'm curious if you're in the crypto from a very long time. What did you do before crypto?
Well, I was actually working in the charity sector up to September this year. So I just free like 2 months. I don't have a day job now since September this year. So I'm fully in crypto since September. But before I was in the charity sector. I was working for big charities, for St. Mungo's, and even for Thames Reach as well. So it was a great experience for me. I love charity. I love helping homeless people, and I love helping vulnerable people. It's a great privilege. I was even homeless myself like 12 years ago. So 11 and 12 years ago, I was homeless in London twice. So I know the housing system very well because I experienced my own skin, the whole housing provision, the night shelters. This is a big topic. I could talk about many hours. So, I don't want to go into it too deep, but I experienced all of it, night shelters, hostels, private sector, and so on, housing, all kind of housing and so on. So it's a very exciting topic. But I was in the charity sector. But now I want to use crypto for charities and for fundraising, and this is also another fantastic use case. But again, now I have to convince the charities itself. So, for example, I offered my help that I can raise lots of money for big charities who I worked for, like Crisis and for St. Mungo's. They are the biggest charities in the UK. I can fundraise them. I can raise them loads of money through my connections. And guess what they said? That was like 18 months ago. So that was a long time ago. And they said, no, they're not interested because of the reputational damage. The risk.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because of the, association of Bitcoin is associated, it has a bad association with scams and, money laundering. This is that time that was the consensus in the normal population. Still like a bit tricky, especially now is the bear market. But now I think it's getting now better. We are getting there, to reach the population, to reach the mass, really the mass, and the big charities and so on.
Wow, Daniel. First of all, I want to comment on the story that you shared, that you were homeless before, and the whole charity kind of like London, right, and UK situation very well from the inside, and that you made your way up, and now you are talking to charities and trying to lobby crypto interests in that sphere. I think it's very inspiring, and I'm sure we would like to listen more to your story. And also, I think like maybe you can write a book in the future, because that sounds like an amazing journey. Speaking about charities, it hurts my heart to hear that they think that crypto and blockchain is not really, how they say it's, they cannot use it because of their reputational damage. Because sometimes for people, it's much easier to donate in crypto if they don't have access to banking system, for example, especially in countries that were affected by sanctions. So I know for the fact that in some countries where government is tracking and really, like not doing great, it's much easier and safer to use crypto wallets to donate to charities because it's the only way how they can support the charities and kind of stay behind the scenes. Yeah, but it's different from country to country. So how do you think we can lobby crypto interests, even through the prism of helping out the people who are less fortunate than others?
Yeah, you're right. The Ukraine war, actually, this might change. So maybe now it will be easier to actually convince big charities to collaborate and use the technology. But basically, now is the next big project for us, for me, like the crypto lobby, to create like a lobby arm for off-chain. I would have like a super team behind me. Like I would be myself, I'm the connector, but I have like other people who will be like the brain behind it and so on, all the people with the connection to the parliament and to the think tanks and so on. But basically, the only thing what we need to figure out, myself need to figure out is the funding. Because, off-chain, we can create OffChain London. I can create for free, no budget, no problem. We can, but for lobby, you can't lobby without money. That's impossible. that's not an option. So this is but just to say something encouraging that, for example, in Washington, D.C., the crypto lobby is very strong. So that's fantastic. I want something similar in London. So in my opinion, the biggest challenge that we have already, by the way, we are working with FCA. So we have already a working group with big companies involved, but we need more people. So the biggest challenge is about the regulation that we, as a crypto people, we actually don't know what regulation we want. So first of all, we need to know what we want. So we need a lot of coordination between the big players and between ourselves. Coordination, so we will know what we want actually, what's the consensus, what regulation we want. Until that we don't know that, how the hell we will achieve anything? So we can't achieve anything before we know what we want. Yeah. So first of all, we need to know what we want. Yeah. What regulation? And this is not a simple question. This is a very, very big topic. We need a lot of session, a lot of meeting for that to actually achieve. This is a huge project in itself. To achieve that, to know what we want, and then once we know what we want, we can achieve that. And second of all, we have already one good group which I'm happy to promote here. Kodak, they are very good and they have all the connections in the world, and they have also one person who specializes in crypto. Marcus is my friend. He is specialized in crypto within Kodak. And I like Kodak's structure because I want to do something similar, but it's only crypto, not for all the other areas, because they cover everything. So basically what they do, they are giving a chance for the small startups as well. So it's not like a club where only the big boys, they have to pay like a 15,000 or 20,000 pound yearly fee, and then you are part of the club. No, it's not like that. So even the small people, they have a chance to participate, even if they are a startup and they have no money, no problem, because they want to encourage competition. And the crypto is about this as well. We want to encourage competition. We want to give chance to the startups, because the startups, they are the wealth generator. They will create wealth. Yeah, the startup. So that's great. But these Kodak, for example, they are funded by Google, so they have a stable background, so they can operate. So that's what I'm looking for, some Google or Amazon or something like that, or some big backers, obviously. Otherwise, how can we do a lobby group? We can't.
I really like your point of view on that. Even that you mentioned that we don't know, crypto community, we don't know ourselves what kind of regulations we want, and thinking in the right direction and trying to organize working groups and trying to organize the crypto lobby. I'm sure these are very important milestones on the road to the mass adoption.
Daniel, I just wanted to ask you, did you catch the podcast between Sam Bankman-Fried and Eric von Horde? I think that's his name, where they were discussing about the regulations for US customers?
I heard about it, but haven't seen. Maybe I should listen to that. Maybe I should contact Sam Sam about let's do the crypto lobby in London. That's a good idea. Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying this is for more and more, I stand on the stance that we shouldn't have any regulation because I believe that if we're building a different world, a freer world, we should stand on our morals that we can regulate ourselves. We don't need intervention from the government.
Sean, I totally agree. But you know what? Mark Zuckerberg, he said the same thing. Oh, we can regulate ourselves. That's what that's what Mark Zuckerberg said. Oh, no one can regulate Facebook. We can regulate ourselves. But obviously, this is not going to happen. So I agree with you. But the problem is if I go to Rishi Sunak. Actually, I know the special advisor for Rishi Sunak. So Rishi Sunak is our man in a way. I mean, Rishi Sunak is great, but the challenge is obviously if I go to the prime minister, I can't sell this to the prime minister. How the hell will I sell this to him? Like, oh, we don't need regulation. I mean, this is a very hard sell, see, to any government. So we have to be like a Trojan horse, yeah. I mean, how can I sell this to the governor? You can't.
Yes, I understand your point, and that's what Sam Bankman-Fried was basically saying, that it's going to come, so why don't we guide it? But firstly, I think your point about Facebook, the difference between Facebook and crypto is the ultimate free market, whereas Facebook is the ultimate monopoly, right? So I don't think it's apples and apples, right? And then the second thing is you have to understand that the internet was planned to be regulated from the beginning. And thank God it wasn't, or else, what could have happened? So I feel that if we just stand strong, maybe we can prove that we can do it without their help.
Yeah, that will be great. And now obviously we have a challenge because, for example, our Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, he loves CBDC. And obviously China loves CBDC and everyone, the central bank digital currencies, everyone, every USA, every government, they love CBDC. Such a great tool, full control. They can program the money, so they can even program that what can you spend your money on. Wow, this is brilliant. You will be under total surveillance, total control. And this is how wonderful this is. Yeah, I mean, maybe not so wonderful, obviously. So I can't see any advantage for me to use CBDC. Will I moon? My money will double or what? No, it will not moon really. It's just under total control, obviously. So we need to cut a deal because obviously every government, they are very keen with the CBDC, but then we have to say, okay, use CBDC, but then we can use Bitcoin and we can use all the cryptocurrencies as legal tender. Otherwise, what are we talking about?
Yeah, true. For me, it sounds so crazy that there could be like a currency issued by the government, and then they just say, oh, okay, your money will expire in half a year, so you have to spend it now. Otherwise, like they will disappear. And it can happen because like the whole world is struggling to get like overinflation, and the governments are not doing a great job really. But anyway, to finish this podcast, I would like to ask you an off-chain question. So, what do you do in your free time, if I may say so? I mean, what kind of things you do apart from networking in the London crypto scene?
Well, this is a very good question, because I have a crazy story. I could really write a book because, I was homeless because I was a Catholic priest, a candidate for a priesthood, but then it didn't happen. So I became homeless because I met my wife. Obviously, Catholic priests cannot have a wife or a girlfriend. But anyway, it's a different story. And so basically, in my free time, that's a very naive question because I don't have a free time because, see, I build OffChain 24/7. But before OffChain, before I built OffChain, I was like a big player in the casino. I made a lot of money on slot machines. So that's what I invested into crypto. I know it's a crazy story. I was like in Las Vegas, everywhere. I was in a cruise ship and so on. All the like a real VIP, big VIP in the casino world. But then after COVID, I lost already lots of money because post COVID, the casino became very bad and the algorithm didn't work anymore really. So it was, but by that time I invested lots of money into crypto. So I made my money back this way anyway. But yeah, I'm not recommend anyone to go to casino. Don't go to casino. Just invest into crypto. That's better casino than anything anyway. So just enjoy the ride, the Bitcoin ride. Yeah.
I enjoy the ride, yeah, for sure. We all gonna make it at the end of the day,
Yes.
sooner or later. Yeah, just need to hold on tight and yeah, buckle up for the crazy ride. Anyway,
Yeah.
Daniel, like, thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we cannot dive deep into the life stories of yours, even though I think it's not our last podcast, and we would like to hear more about your very intense life. It's like I've never heard any life story that would be similar to yours. It's very unique. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
The Insiders Insight podcast is meant for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial or investment advice. Nothing expressed in this podcast should be construed as a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any financial products. Information expressed by the host or guest of this podcast does not necessarily reflect any views of our sponsors.